Hello again, my friends. Thomas with Alpha Concepts here again. We're going to talk today about the renewal process for the Illinois concealed carry license. We did a video about this back in 2016, but since so much has changed over the last many years, we're going to go ahead and update the video and walk you through the process of how to renew your Illinois concealed carry license, the test, the class, everything that you have to do start to finish, as well as we're going to answer some of the more commonly asked questions. So stay posted for the next few minutes and we're going to walk you through everything you need to know about renewing your Illinois concealed carry license. So first things first, when do you want to renew your concealed carry license? Your Illinois concealed carry license is a 5-year license, okay? So that means from the date of issuance, it will expire 5 years after it's issued. Now, something that has changed in recent years is that the expiration date is no longer printed on the concealed carry license. So if you're not sure when you're up for renewal, you want to go to ispfsb.com. That's the Illinois State Police Firearms Services Bureau website. Again, ispfsb.com. You're going to log in and it'll tell you exactly when you expire. The state of Illinois is supposed to send you out a notification to remind you, but just in case you don't get that notification, it's a good idea to know when you expire. Maybe put a reminder in your phone calendar or something like that. I would recommend definitely renewing before you expire, because if you renew after you expire, there is a little bit of a grace period, but then you'll go into a suspended status. You'll no longer be able to carry as your card is expired. As long as you renew before you expire, you are not expired. So basically, renew before you expire. You know, how soon? We used to recommend 120 days before you expire. That was because it took the state many months to process renewal applications, but now because expiration dates are no longer listed on the concealed carry license, you know, anytime a month before you expire is probably fine. The process first before you apply for renewal is that you're going to have to take a 3-hour renewal class. Of course, we offer this 3-hour renewal class. There's other qualified instructors out there as well. If you're not going to come take a class from us, definitely do your due diligence. Not all instructors are created equal. There are some very specific topics of discussion that we have to talk about in the concealed carry class, okay? So we want to make sure that we comply with the state law in our class. Those topics are going to include, the way we like to start our classes is we're going to let you know about any changes in the recent, past year, 2 years, 3 years. Gun laws are very fluid. They're always changing. We start our renewal classes by letting you know about those recent changes. And then we kind of go into reminders about the key points. We take that 16-hour class that you took and we boil down into 2 hours the most important things. And we talk about ownership. We talk about transportation. We remind you about the gun-free zones. We'll talk about court cases. We'll talk about everything that you need to know that the state requires of us to be able to issue you your training certificate. We're going to remind you about the fundamentals of shooting. We're going to remind you about the firearm safety. We will, per state law, teach you how to draw from concealment, even though I hope that's something you've been practicing over the last 5 years. State requires us to remind you how it's safely done. We're going to definitely do that. Then we go into the shooting, and the shooting test is the same test that you should have done when you took your concealed carry license. So it's 30 rounds total, 10 rounds fired from a distance of 5 yards, 10 rounds fired from a distance of 7 yards, and then 10 rounds fired from a distance of 10 yards. So 5, 7, 10. Okay, so that's 15 feet, 21 feet, and 30 feet. So again, same test you did in the first place. I expect you'll probably ace this test. You've had 5 years to practice. I have had many students say, I haven't shot since the last time I've seen you. It breaks my heart. It is what it is, you know, but the same test. So you'll take the test. You'll come attend the class. You'll take the test. You'll go online to apply. And that's the basic process. We have a step-by-step application guide on our website for how to apply for your concealed carry license, okay? But the steps are exactly identical about how to apply for your renewal, in case you've forgotten. So we walk you through, handhold you step by step. If you want us to apply, do the application for you, we certainly will do that. That's not a problem. We offer application assistance for our students as well. A really common question is, oops, I've already expired. What do I do now? Well, the good news is before, you used to have to retake your 16-hour class over again. That is no longer the case. Even if you are expired, all you have to do at this point is take the 3-hour class. Now, you can't carry while you're expired, but once you apply, if there was this whole COVID thing going on, which I'll talk about in just a second. Of course, you guys are aware with COVID, but when it came to the state police, there were all these different rules that were going on that really confused a lot of things. But the bottom line is, if you are expired now, go ahead and take the 3-hour class. As long as you're within a period of time, if you apply for renewal, the state may reactivate you pending review of your application. I say may, no guarantees what the state's going to do. If you apply for renewal after you've expired, again, all you need is the 3-hour class. So come take a 3-hour class with us, apply for your renewal. Once the website shows you as active again, once the website shows you that you're active again, you can go ahead and start carrying, okay? So you no longer need to take the 16-hour class if your concealed carry license has been expired. You only need the 3-hour class. COVID. During the COVID declaration, the governor declared a disaster, and during that process, the Illinois State Police was allowing people to apply for renewal without forcing them to attend a class. But the thing is, if you were one of those people who applied for renewal without taking a class, you still have to take a class. Okay, so if that was one of you, if you applied for renewal, didn't take a class, you went online, you applied, you didn't upload a training certificate, you paid them, that's great. But at some point, the state's going to contact you and say, hey, you got to take a class. So that's something that you want to get done sooner rather than later. Get that class in, upload that certificate as soon as possible. So the amnesty of training has been over in 2021 that ended. So you've got to take a training class. And if you did apply for renewal without a training class, now's the time to take that training class. Another common question is about address changes. A lot of people, it happens, they move and they never update their concealed carry license address. Well, it's a $75 fee to update your address, so I understand why some people might not do it. The law says you have to, and they actually say there's a $150 penalty if you don't, so that'd be $150 plus $75. I don't know anyone who has ever had to pay that penalty. That's not to say no one ever has, but the state clearly says that if your address does not match when you apply for renewal, simply provide them with the new address. The problem here is, if you go to the website, you click you click to change address on the state website. That's great. It's going to lock you out of the system. You're going to have to pay $75. You're going to have to wait a month, 2 months, and then you can apply for renewal. So the process is streamlined. If the address on your concealed carry license doesn't match the address on your driver's license, of course, first, make sure your driver's license address is the correct address. That's number one. Number two, after that's done, apply for renewal. Provide the new address when you apply for renewal. Don't click address change, as that will lock you out. Now, of course, if it's a year, 2 years from now when you need to renew, you're supposed to update your address within 30 days of updating your driver's license. So be sure to get that taken care of. I want to close out this video just telling you a little bit more about us, Alpha Concepts, and how we like to run our training classes, how we structure our training classes, and what makes us different. The way that we structure our renewal training classes is that they are standalone classes, okay? I know some other instructors are just bundling students in, sit in a classroom in our 16-hour class, just sit there for a couple of hours and come shoot with us, we'll give you your certificate. I can't personally wrap my head around how they can be complying with the state training requirements. by doing that. Either they're shortchanging their renewal students or they're kind of confusing the 16-hour curriculum. Either way, I just find it more organized to run standalone training classes. So we're not having you come in and sit in the 16-hour class and just sit there for a few hours, because quite frankly, we might spend in our 16-hour training class 2 hours just discussing the use of force. So if you sat there for 2 hours just discussing the use of force, and I signed off on your training certificate and I didn't talk to you about ownership and transportation and all of those other things that were required by law to teach you, then you're not getting what you're paying for, and I'm not complying with the state law. So we run our training classes as standalone, 3-hour. You come, we're dedicated to you, our renewal student. More about Alpha Concepts. I am personally the 45th instructor in the state of Illinois. I've been teaching concealed carry since the very beginning. And this is my full-time gig, okay? This is how I feed my family. This is what I'm passionate about doing. You're coming to our training facility located in Park Ridge, okay? We have free parking, free coffee, free water. We run classes on weekdays. We run classes on weekends. We offer private training. We've done that for quite a few students who are about to expire. They just realized they're expiring tonight. They haven't taken their training class, and we'll jump in and we'll help them out, and we'll do private training classes as well. So we try to be a top-notch training facility. I think we're one of the best in the area. You can read our Google reviews. You can read our Yelp reviews. Read our reviews on the USCCA website. We've never got a bad review from anyone who has taken our class. So definitely do your due diligence when you're checking out instructors. Give us a call. Send us an email. I'm more than happy to reply, to answer any of your questions. Leave a comment. I'll answer your question in the comments as well. And in fact, that's great, because then other people can read the answers. They may have the same question as you do. So definitely, if you have any questions about anything at all, specifically renewing your concealed carry license or anything, leave a comment. I'll do my best to give you an answer. As always, everybody, be armed, be trained, and be alpha, and I hope to see you very soon in one of our concealed carry renewal training classes.